Hello there, how are you all? This is Karthik Poovanam. I'm a leadership coach, author, and travel explorer. Invoking grace has been taught to a lot of people. But unfortunately, it has never been taught in the righteous manner. Let me explain you. Nisamshayatmati. Well, you need to trust. And when I say trust does not mean that you will close your eyes and jump from the 8th floor and nothing is going to happen to you. Trust simply has a beautiful way of expressing itself in your life. That means it will give you a thought not to jump by closing your eyes. It will make you more aware, and it will also reduce the karmic impact in your life. What is karmic impact? Karmic impact is a sum total of accumulations, works in permutations and combinations. It will go into a plane which is beyond the mind, where it will enter what is the journey of your being, how it has passed on from generations to generations, and what kind of consequences is it invoking in its own life. So let's say if there is a very dangerous consequence, it will be reduced to very mild. So this is the power of grace, and I've seen that in any number of instances. For example, when I'm driving and suppose there's a vehicle in the front, immediately I'm able to stop. So these all things happen because of grace. Grace does not simply mean that you are wishing and something fantastic is going to happen and your bank balance is going to be filled. Yes, that's also possible, but that's not the way to evaluate grace in your life. Grace per se, the more people speak about it, the more confused one will become, because there is no logical ambit, or the logical periphery that you can carry forward while you are making a discussion. Because any discussion that we make must fit into the logical framework of our mind. Otherwise, it is very difficult to perceive it, because our 5 senses perceive the information through logic. One thing that has happened because of Western education largely is we become completely more logical. There are advantages of it, and there are large levels of disadvantages also of it. What is a disadvantage? The disadvantage is we are not able to perceive a great phenomena called as grace. There are dimensions beyond the physical realities of life that cannot be conceived through the mind. Yes, at the moment there are no devices, but till then, is it that we should never experience these dimensions? Where are those dimensions? What cannot be seen, what cannot be heard, what cannot be smelled, what cannot be tasted, what cannot be heard or seen? Doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. There is a completely different way of perceiving reality. And I'll tell you, for example, there are, right now as I'm moving my hand, there are a lot of organisms here. That doesn't mean that it doesn't exist just because I'm not able to see it. But the moment I put it under a micro lens, a super micro lens, I'm able to suddenly see a lot of organisms which is perhaps existing, which I was not aware of through my naked eyes. In similar ways, there are a lot of things which can be seen the moment we are able to transcend the physical dimensions of our experience. And that is the moment where we are becoming totally perceptive to grace completely. Surrender. And surrender to one higher forces that essentially works. Now I surrender to Lord Balaji, you may surrender to Allah, someone may surrender to Jesus, someone may surrender to Shiva. But choose one particular higher portal through which you have access. These are all portals and possibilities to invoke grace. Life is awesome in grace. And as I told you, it's very, very difficult to understand anything about grace through logic. But you can feel it, and that is the beauty. The more one can go on saying, I can write volumes and volumes about grace, yet I cannot tell you exactly what grace is. And so has been a Buddha, so has been Krishna, so has been Shiva, so has been any number of beings who have walked in the planet. They have all not been able to precisely tell you what those dimensions are beyond the physical realities of life. And the more they try to explain, the more deceptive it feels to the mind, because the mind needs a logical standpoint. It needs the support of logic. It is a parasite on logic. It is a parasite on the physical. It cannot exist beyond the physical. So do not try to access the unlimited through the limited. It will be like trying to measure the depth of an ocean with a foot scale. You will invariably come out with a wrong measurement, and then with that measurement, if you enter, you will simply drown yourself. Have a great time, everybody. This is Karthik Poovanam. I'm a leadership coach, author, and travel explorer. In life, I'm living a life in grace and in joy, and may you know the taste of joy and grace, and if possible, love. Have a fantastic time.